Hi,
Hi.
everybody. Just get my camera centered. Oh, wonderful to see everyone here. Thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining us. Janine, thank you for holding that space as usual. And yeah, I'm going to, without further ado, I'm going to switch my camera off. I just always like to say hello. So that you can see that I'm really here. It's not just a disembodied voice. And then we will prepare for today's heart gathering. So in the meantime, just get yourselves really comfortable. Okay. Wonderful. Well, today is quite a special day for a number of reasons. As you are no doubt aware, it is the equinox, yesterday and today. And in South Africa, it's actually Human Rights Day. And there's been so many actual gatherings, online gatherings, and a very small gathering at Parliament today in Cape Town, showing, well, giving the message that there are no human rights without animal rights. So people are really going into their hearts and voicing their concerns for nature at this time. Okay, so before we start, I just want to, let's just all get connected and centered. So let's do an opening meditation. And of course, we are gathering for the primates and other animals in laboratories today. So the picture I chose for our opening meditation is this beautiful male baboon looking over Komaki, which I think there is someone from Komaki, Jocelyn is from Komaki, well versed in the village. And just to rest your eyes on his eyes as we do this opening meditation. And there he is on the top of the mountains being a free baboon. Okay, so as you breathe in a beautiful rose gold light. And as you breathe out, let's breathe out all the stress and anxieties and worries and fears that have been gathering over the last few weeks. Breathe it out and see it transform into this beautiful healing rose gold light. And then breathe in that, the symbol of unconditional love, but see it also as a healing light, that as you breathe in, it is healing any dis-ease or discomfort in your own body. It is smoothing out any chinks in your energy field, surrounding you by this beautiful field of love and protection. And then on your next in-breath, I'd like you to extend that field from your heart space to the room around you, to all the beings in the room. There might be other human beings or animal beings. Extend that out to the rest of the building that you're in. And then out further into the surrounds of the building, whether it's gardens or the streets. And see it extend out even further to the whole city that you're living in, to the countryside, to the edges of the country, to the edges of the land, to the seas, and then even further out to the other continents and the other land masses. And then as you breathe in, feel that supportive, healing energy surrounding you and coming back to you, connecting all of us. And in this space, feel and know that you are one with all beings, whether they are mammals, whether they are plant beings, whether they are tiny molecules. We are all tiny molecules, just put together in different forms. So just feel that beautiful healing light of unconditional love merging all of us. And now just feel that healing light settle in you. Feel it surrounding you, feeling it connecting you with everyone on this call at the moment, and connecting you with those who will be watching the recording. Okay. Now take your focus back to your heart space and take one more breath in and out. Feel your physical body on the chair. Feel the floor beneath your feet and feel your feet solid on the ground beneath you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And I know this is such a strange time that we are living in, and it is scary for a lot of us, but I'd like to see it as a time of transformation and a time of potential. And it's actually quite exciting to be alive in this time, as difficult as it may be. Now, it was way before this pandemic that is affecting the entire globe arrived, or we became aware of it, that I decided to do this particular heart gathering on the primates and other animals in laboratories. And it was H.E.A.R.T that sort of requested that, or sent me an email requesting that we work with them, because she lives in Davis, California, where there's a huge primate center where they do experiments on. And I was hoping she would be with us today. She might be able to come in a bit later, but I don't see her here yet. I was going to ask her to speak to it a little bit, but I've got a little bit of information about it. But what I thought I would focus on today, definitely the animals that are being worked on in laboratories, and possibly now more than ever, because I'm sure scientists around the world are trying to find a vaccine for this virus that is affecting us. And I have no doubt that these animals are being used to be tested on the efficacy of certain things, and they will be suffering through it. And even though they suffer anyway because they are encaged, they are not allowed to live their normal lives. Even those that aren't having physical experiments done, that are doing behavior experiments, or none of it is actually acceptable in this day and age. So the reason why I started with the baboons, obviously it's one of the primates, the wild primates that I know very well, but they do have a long history in the Cape, and perhaps it started way before, but when Chris Barnard, who did the first heart transplant, when he was doing his experiments, he would put traps up on the mountain just near where we live, where I'm living at the moment. to capture the baboons overnight, and then they would capture wild baboons, and then they would be operated on in order to see whether hearts can be transplanted. So, you know, these animals have done incredible work for humanity. They have sacrificed so much, and usually it wasn't out of choice. And because of humanity's ego and greed and domination, we have done terrible things to the animals for our own health and well-being. Here, this picture is at a little place in my wilderness place where I often am during these webinars, and this was a visitation from the baboon troop there just below the balcony, happily foraging in the fynbos. And I'll just give you a little bit of information about this particular primate center that is the focus of Heather's work to try and get it shut down. There are 4,000 rhesus monkeys and South American titi monkeys in the primate center, and that includes adults and infants. And so medical and social research is conducted on the primates. So you can imagine from all scales, overall scales, you know, from probably seemingly innocuous experiments to really invasive and painful experiments. So they are looking at infectious diseases, neuroscience and behavior, reproductive and regenerative medicine, and respiratory diseases. And, you know, and so that's what made me think respiratory diseases. Absolutely, they are going to be doing experiments on during this time for us. Really, it's for humans that these animals are suffering. But there is hope, and, you know, there's a lot of universities and scientific laboratories have stopped experimenting on mammals. And I know that the UCT, they used to experiment on baboons, and Baboon Matters was very helpful in assisting to shut down that center and to help get the baboons into a sanctuary. And I remember meeting those baboons just after they left the research laboratories and were at H.E.A.R.T in the Karoo. And they just didn't even know how to be baboons. You know, they were with other baboons. They were slowly being reintroduced. It took them years to start feeling, I wouldn't even say normal. I don't think they ever fully recovered from what they had been through. But they had a chance to actually experience love from humans as opposed to this shut down, being treated as objects with no feelings. So that is what we are here for today, is to help assist in the shutting down of these centers, to visualize them closing, to visualize human hearts opening so that the necessity is, well, that people realize that these animals are no longer needed. And that, of course, will bring up other questions. So what happens to 4,000 monkeys who are being experimented on? Well, I did communicate with, earlier on, I was communicating with the monkeys at the center. And actually, it was really interesting. So this is a photograph of a rhesus monkey. This is a photograph of a South American titi monkey. There's another one of her in the leaves. So I'm just giving you an idea of what they look like. But it was very interesting to me because when I tuned in to them, as a species in the laboratories, I didn't get very much at all. I got a very shut down feeling. And I felt that almost all the animals in the laboratories have shut down. They've shut themselves down in order to physically survive what they're going through. And I noticed that one or two individuals were trying to connect with the humans, trying to show their compassion for humanity, which is a bizarre concept from a human perspective. But it feels like the humans that we're working with were so shut down, and they would have to be able to do the work that they're doing. So, and then I started getting information, and I wasn't sure where this information was coming from. It wasn't coming from the monkeys themselves as an individual. But I'll read out what I got, because I asked, how can we help, during this H.E.A.R.T gathering? What do we focus on? And I just read out because it started flowing as a bit of a download. So visualize human hearts opening and realizing the bigger picture beyond the physical being. Visualize the oneness of all beings. Call us in, the spirits of Mother Nature, to guide you through the process of transformation that is happening right now. You are not alone. We are overseeing. Keep us all in your hearts and trust. Know that all will be well. Many of you will join us in spirit. It is necessary and part of the healing. The healing of your planet has begun. Give thanks, be grateful, love, be love, be loved, beloved. And that was the communication, and that was the communication from the spirit of Mother Nature. And it gave me a lot of strength, actually, at these times. And I think the message from the animals, even those that are trapped in the laboratories, is one of heart opening and one of assisting other humans' hearts to open. That is our role at this moment, and to be as compassionate and kind and as strong as we possibly can be. I'm just going through these photographs now. The little vervet monkeys are also sacrificing themselves for human well-being, human health. And of course, the chimps. There's such a small difference in our DNA that, of course, they are used a lot in experiments. And then don't forget the little ones that are also in the laboratories for so many reasons, the little mice. And of course, even domestic dogs and cats. So I think what we need to do right now, during our time together here, is to say a prayer and do a visualization. I want to first, before we do that, I think I'm going to just let us focus on this photograph that's on the screen now of the South American TT monkey. And I'll guide you in, and I'm going to give you just 5 minutes to send love to this particular being. I don't know where this particular individual is. It's a photograph that I got off the internet. But she probably is in captivity. And let's send her that love and let it spread to all the species. And then let's just be in silence and see each of us as an individual gets your own personal message from the primates, and perhaps as a collective as well. So I'll guide you in, and then if you want to have a piece of paper, a pen and paper, just to write down anything that comes to you, or just hold it in your heart, the message, and know that even if you don't physically remember it, know that it is in your cellular memory and it is in the cells of your body, this knowledge. So just trust the process. Let go of any fears. Rest your eyes on this beautiful being. And then take your focus down to your heart space. And feel that unconditional love of Mother Nature cleaning your heart. So clearing it of any fears, any doubts, any anxieties, any discomfort. And feel it filled with love, peace, beauty, harmony, and connection. And now send that unconditional love out to this primate species. And just be in that silence. If nothing is coming to you, you can ask the individual or the species to share anything that they want to share with you at this time. And then let's go into silence and receive the messages. Okay. So slowly end off your communication. Thank this beautiful being for being here with us and supporting us, helping us to assist in all the issues. Give thanks and then take your focus back to your heart. Feel that beautiful, unconditional love filling your heart space. And then just become aware of your physical body, your feet firmly on the ground. Okay. All right, so I think what I'm going to do, if Janine, if you could put the public chat back on, and if anybody wants to share anything that you feel could be helpful to the gathering, right now you can just share it in the chat. And Heather, if you are here, I don't see your name, but there might be a glitch because via email you've said that you are here listening in. If you are, can you type something into the chat, because I'd love to just hear from you for a moment. Thank you. Okay, so Elizabeth has written here, she reminds us to use humor more. Soft humor is very much a power that she likes about humans and our interactions, and she encourages me to use it more. Wonderful, Elizabeth. And I think that's also about the joy. Remember, you know, my whole teachings are surrounded by the message of love, respect, and joy. So that's a lovely thing. Humor, thank you. And Rosemary's getting a similar message. A time of great human awakening. They say, though, that we must be patient. This takes time. Of course it does, you know, and I think I've always, through all these earth-shaking things that have been happening over the last few months, including the devastating fires, and now the pandemic, I'm reminded that we have been asking for this transformation. You know, those of us who are becoming more and more conscious and awake, have been praying for a change, for a different way. And the old way is not going to go quietly into the night. It's not going to be an easy awakening, and it is going to take time. But it has started. It has definitely started. So thank you for that. And Heather, I see that you are here. I'm going to ask, okay, Janine has made you a presenter. So if you're happy just to say a few words about your experiences and, you know, your mission to close the Davis Primate Sanctuary, that would be wonderful. You can just put your microphone on. It's at the top right of the screen. There'll be a little microphone emblem that you can hover over and then switch on. I'll just read out Paula's message here. Open your heart to heal the world and heal yourself. Science and spirituality, when they go together, there's no need for suffering. There's space instead for miracles, because you'll remember you are divine light and power, and the power to heal and to transform is within you, not outside of you. Collaboration with nature. Always ask permission, because when you ask, spirit responds. Thank you, Paula. That's beautiful. And Lynn is, yes, reminding us not to feel sorry for the species, but to honor the beauty and love in ourselves and within each species, and to open our hearts. That's a very important reminder, Lynn. Thank you, because one of the things that the animals don't like is when we put that sort of victim energy onto them, when we feel pity for them. It's not a helpful energy to send out. We need to recognize their beauty in their essence and not their circumstances. Each individual has their own unique beauty, which is aside from whatever circumstance or suffering they're going through. And it's to focus on that and expand that energy of health, and healing to the rest of their bodies, and to their physical bodies, and to the rest of the species. So thank you, Lynn. That's an important reminder. And I think if anybody wants to send, some of you have got longer messages. That's a bit too long to type here. If you want to email them to me or to Janine, you're very welcome to, and I can share them perhaps on the message on the landing page. Maria, are you getting that this is a time of awakening and full disclosure of what goes on behind closed doors, not just for the animal kingdom, but for the children too, and for the cages to be opened? Thank you, Maria. Beautiful. They are fully extending the trust to human species, but wondering about what's next. They are loving and trusting in challenging times to bring out the same from us. They are looking for safety, and in turn want us to relax and be safe so that they can be safe and just be. They want us to cherish the being than the doing. That's right. They are crying their hearts out as why humans are torturing themselves by behaving like this with them. Whenever I've communicated with an animal that has seen much suffering through humanity's disconnect, there's always been a great sadness for the human race, not necessarily for themselves, because I think nature knows what's going on, but they are caught in this awful web. And the overlying emotion is a grief for humanity for being so separate. And this is, it's important to remember that nature has the support of nature, and we, as long as we connect with nature and work with nature, we have that same support. And especially in these times, I think whatever decisions we make, whatever thoughts we have, whatever energy we give out, it needs to be conscious and aware of all the beings that we are affecting, other human beings as well as all the nature beings, the plants, the animals, everything that we do, what we eat, where we go, where we buy our food from. Just be aware and conscious. If you can grow your own food, do that. It's a beautiful thing. And this time more than ever, we need to be focusing on things like that, growing for ourselves, growing for other people as well. So really coming together. And I think people are in this time. There's been amazing stories of community and compassion coming out of this global crisis that we are in. So Jane is saying a strong emphasis on relationship, and with this comes healing, restoration of balance, and equal partnership. Thank you, Jane. That's beautiful. I think the chat will also be available in the recording. So if I miss out some of them, people can go through it as well over the recording as well. Now is the time to bring down the walls of ignorance around the heart of mankind. We are ready to be released from disconnection from nature, as are you. This disconnection from nature is pain, it is suffering. Nature will not be held back. Our service is of love, but it will not be in vain. We love, we care, we nurture, in spite of what is done, human ignorance. We and you are ready and are calling for freedom. Thank you, Shelley. Okay, I think Heather's having troubles with the connection, so I'm going to ask her not to stress about that and just be in her heart and know that we are supporting her in her endeavors. I hope she heard that. More messages from Monkey. She has a lot of compassion towards us because we do not realize that the suffering we put on them, we put on to ourselves. It's as if we humans kill ourselves. And, you know, Nicoleta, that just reminds me of the messages from the First Nations people of South Africa, the Khoi people. And yesterday I spent time with Chief Stephen Fritz, in a ceremony, a healing, earth healing ceremony at Cape Point, the point of Africa. And he was saying how, you know, when we kill nature, we kill ourselves. When we kill the lion, we kill ourselves. When we create suffering, we create suffering in ourselves. And also what is so interesting, he's very confident that his people are going to be okay because he says this pandemic was predicted 400 years ago, and it's been predicted more recently as well. So him and his elders have been preparing for this with the herbal medicines and the plant medicines, and knowing what to use to protect themselves, working with nature, working with prayer and ceremony. So we really can take a leaf out of the Indigenous First Nation people's books and their knowledge and their connection of nature at this time. And it is so important. It really is. Another message: respect and love all life, encouraged by our support. More needs to change. Be more like us. Live locally, forage locally, form tribes, community, live in nature, bring love into action. Show us through your actions, your recognition of life. Deepen your understanding of life. Deepen your respect. Deepen love. Deepen harmony of interbeing, interactions, interdependence. Just be. Spend time with us. Energetically commune with us. And yes, Anthea, today you were thinking it's time that the farmer will be recognized again. The farmer, the conscious farmer, and the one that, you know, it reminds me this morning we have a little organic veggie market that I go and stock up on organic veggies every morning. And what was lovely to see is that there was an abundance of organic vegetables. And Barbara, who runs the market, was saying the farmers are being really, really good because they're not letting people over order, you know, panic buy. They're actually saying if you only order 20 of these normally, you're only going to be given 20 of these now because, you know, they only have a finite number. So they're being very sensible. And of course, it's the organic farmers, not the factory farmers. And I think they are the ones that we are going to need, you know, and if we can become those organic farmers for ourselves as well. And really, you know, if any of you have, I might be getting off topic here, but if any of you have been thinking of going vegan, now is the time as well. I think we really need to honor our other animals at this time, our other animal being friends, and take note of everything. And I do feel this is going to bring huge change huge, huge change to the way we live from now on. Okay. So let us just go back into our hearts. And let us breathe. And let us give thanks to all beings, those who have been sacrificed for our well-being. We give thanks, we give thanks. Those who are currently suffering so that we as humans can be cured of illness and disease on the physical level. We acknowledge your great hearts. And we visualize you at this time being set free. We visualize, we see, we feel, we hear, we know the end of your suffering. Feel it in your hearts, feel it in your bodies. The relief and the release. If we can focus on that now, and then focus on that in a daily meditation, so that the end of unnecessary suffering, the end of suffering that is no longer of any benefit to any being, be released and ended. And now send your love to the scientists, the people in the laboratories, the animal handlers that are working with these beings that are encaged, enslaved. And as you send them your love, you see them feeling that love and doing the right thing with it. See their hearts being open to the animals that they are working with. See those, feel those who are shut down become awake, to start opening up, so that they can no longer work under these circumstances. See them realize that what they are doing is endangering themselves and the rest of humanity. Not to mention nature itself. See them wake up and realize that what they are doing is no longer needed. And then if we can envision this new world that is coming into being, where the human law is based on love, respect, and joy, on unconditional love, on mutual respect for all beings, and transformational joy. We envision a world where all humans are supported and recognize that they are supported by Mother Nature, that all humans give back to Mother Nature. that they recognize the give and take. They recognize the different seasons of lifetimes. Where each individual recognizes the role that they are playing in this life, recognizes their purpose. And visualize each person that you touch with your heart start opening up and awakening up. And see this new world. See it, feel it. Know that it is becoming. And at this time, you can ask for guidance for your particular circumstance and ask what you can do to assist in this transformation. Whether it is to stay at home, if you've got the choice, some of you don't have the choice. What to do when you're at home. How to spread this love. How to create change. Or whether it is to go out in nature and do healing ceremonies, or just to be and not have to do anything. Take this time to rest. The world is resting. Let the fear dissolve into joy, knowing that this is a beautiful time. Could be scary, but know each being is where they're supposed to be at this time. Just let that prayer and meditation filter through you. Feel the connection with all life, with all beings. Know that you are supported. Know that you are supported from the beings beyond the stars. Take a deep breath in. Slowly breathe out. Feel your feet firmly on the ground. And then gently become aware of your body and open your eyes if they've been closed. Okay, everyone, I thank you for gathering here with us today. And I send all of you so much love and strength to cope with whatever you're going through in an individual level, and I know that we're all going through on a global level as well. And let's just keep up this vision, and let me know if there's anything else you'd like to focus on. I've promised to do a heart gathering every 2 months. We're not sure where we're going to be in 2 months' time. Everything is so uncertain. But I'm sure the internet will be buzzing, so I'll certainly be here. And just another great heartfelt thank you. And I'll leave you with this image of an old painting of the Garden of Eden. And let's hold that vision of a new world coming into play, a world of compassion and kindness and love and healing. So thank you, everybody, for being here. I think we can end off and say goodbye. I didn't think this would be a whole hour, but I don't know where the time went. So thank you very much. And we'll connect in again. I'll let you know if there's any other gatherings before the 2 months, or, you know, other meditations. I'm sure I'll be doing a lot more online in the next few weeks as well. So I'll definitely let you know. Thank you so much. And thank you, Janine, for your help as always.
Oh, my pleasure, and thank you for another wonderful webinar, keeping us all focused on the positive and the higher vibration.
Great. It's an absolute pleasure, and I couldn't. I'm only here because of you as well. You guys, all of you. I couldn't do it without you, and I think we need to spread this positivity, and not, you know, so whenever you're feeling down, reach out to someone. You know, even you've got the support. You've got the support of. I know the Animal Talk Africa community is so supportive at this time. And, you know, just if you want to re-listen to the H.E.A.R.T Gatherings, there's lots of the meditations online. Remember, I do that 7-day, the meditation, 7 days of meditations at the beginning of the year. And I think that could also be very helpful. So that's also on Big Marker. So if you search the Animal Talk Africa Big Marker channel, you will find those meditations as well. So I encourage you to do some form of meditation every day, and some form of sacred practice to keep you going through these very, very challenging times. Okay. And all with love to all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much. I'll say goodbye now.
Bye, Winter.
Thanks.
And just a reminder for everyone that you can post if you didn't manage to write down what you received, or you received something further, on the conversation section of the landing page. So when the recording is available, if you go to the page where the recording is and scroll down, you'll see the conversation section, and you can post there. And if anyone wants to send anything on to Winter, you can email me. You'll see my email in the chat above. So lots of love. Have a wonderful weekend further and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.